The Architecture of Becoming, a manual for those who refuse to settle. You're reading this because something inside you is tired of your own excuses. Good, that discomfort you feel right now, that's not weakness. That's the first honest thing you've felt in months. Let me tell you what nobody else will. You are not waiting for the right moment. You are hiding from the present one. Every single day, you wake up with two versions of yourself standing in front of you. One is the person you promised you'd become: disciplined, focused, relentless. The other is the person you actually are: compromising, postponing, negotiating with yourself over the smallest acts of integrity. And every single day you choose, not with some grand declaration, not with a motivational speech you give yourself in the mirror. You choose with the tiny, seemingly insignificant decisions that you think don't matter. The alarm goes off. You hit snooze, choice made. You said you'd work on your project. You scroll instead, choice made. You promised yourself you'd eat better. You order the same garbage you always do, choice made. These aren't just mistakes, they're votes. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you are becoming. And right now, if we're being honest, you're voting for someone you don't even respect. The 1% principle, why small changes create unstoppable momentum. Here's the mathematics of transformation that nobody wants to accept because it's too slow, too boring, too unglamorous. If you improve by just 1% every single day for 1 year, you don't end up 365% better. You end up 37 times better. That's 778% improvement. If you get 1% worse each day, you decline to nearly zero. The difference between these two trajectories isn't talent. It isn't genetics. It isn't luck. It's the compounding effect of small, consistent actions repeated over time. But your brain rejects this. Your brain wants the dramatic before and after photo. Your brain wants the viral success story. Your brain wants to skip the middle part where nothing seems to be happening and jump straight to the result. This is precisely why you're stuck. You're addicted to the feeling of starting, the burst of energy on day one. The motivation that comes with a new plan, a new goal, a new version of yourself that you've decided to become starting Monday, or starting next month, or starting next year. You've become a professional beginner, an expert at fresh starts, a master of day one. But transformation doesn't happen on day one. It happens on day 471, when nobody's watching, when there's no excitement left, when the newness has worn off completely, and all that remains is the choice to continue or quit. The truth about motivation that nobody tells you. Let me destroy a myth that's keeping you trapped. Motivation is not the solution. Motivation is the drug you're addicted to. You wait to feel motivated before you act. You scroll through inspirational content, you watch videos of people who have made it, you read quotes, you listen to podcasts, you consume and consume and consume, waiting for that feeling to hit, that surge of determination that will finally make you different. And occasionally it comes. You feel it. The fire, the clarity, the absolute certainty that this time will be different. This time you're ready. This time you'll follow through. So you make plans, detailed, elaborate, perfect plans. You reorganize your life. You tell people about your new commitment. You might even take action for a few days. Then the feeling fades. And you're left with the same choice you've always had. Continue without the feeling or stop. You stop. Every time you stop, because you've built your entire approach to change on the foundation of a feeling that is, by its very nature, temporary. Here's what actually works. You don't wait for motivation. You build systems that make motivation irrelevant. The system, how to become someone who doesn't quit, forget goals for a moment. Goals are important, but they're not what changes you. A goal is a direction. A system is what gets you there. Your system is made up of three elements: identity, environment, and protocol. Identity: who are you when nobody's watching? You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. If you identify as someone who's trying to get in shape, you'll always be trying. If you identify as an athlete, you'll do what athletes do. If you identify as someone who's working on being more disciplined, you'll always be working on it. If you identify as a disciplined person, you'll act accordingly. The question isn't, what do I want to achieve? The question is, who do I want to become? And then, more importantly, what would that person do today? Not tomorrow, not when you're ready, not when conditions are perfect. Today, right now, in this moment, the person you want to become. What would they do with the next hour? Would they scroll? Would they make excuses? Would they negotiate with themselves over keeping a simple promise? Or would they just do the thing? Every action you take is evidence of the identity you hold. You want to become a writer. Writers write, not when inspired, not when they feel like it. They write because that's what writers do. You want to become disciplined. Disciplined people keep promises to themselves, small promises, daily promises. Non-negotiable promises start with one, just one promise so small that breaking it would be absurd. I will drink 1 glass of water when I wake up. I will make my bed. I will put my phone in another room when I work. I will do 10 push-ups before I shower, not 20, not a full workout, not a complete transformation. Just one tiny promise that proves to yourself that you are someone who does what they say they'll do. And then keep it every single day, no exceptions. This isn't about the water or the bed or the push-ups. This is about becoming someone who doesn't break promises to themselves. Environment. Design your life so success is inevitable. You think you fail because of willpower. You're wrong. You fail because your environment is designed for failure. Your phone is next to your bed, so you scroll instead of sleep. Your pantry is full of junk, so you eat junk. Your workspace is cluttered with distractions, so you get distracted. Your friends drain your energy, so you have no energy left for what matters. Stop fighting your environment. Change it. Make the right choice the easy choice. Make the wrong choice harder. Want to read more? Put a book on your pillow. Want to eat better? Don't buy the food that sabotages you. Want to work out? Put your gym clothes next to your bed. Want to focus? Delete the apps that steal your attention. This seems obvious, almost insulting in its simplicity. And yet you don't do it. You rely on willpower to overcome an environment specifically designed to break your willpower. That's not discipline, that's delusion. Your environment is stronger than your intentions. Design it accordingly. Protocol. The power of non-negotiable standards. This is where most people fail. They create rules for themselves, and then they create exceptions to those rules. And then the exceptions become the rule. I'll work out every day, unless I'm tired. I'll eat healthy, unless it's the weekend. I'll stay focused, unless something interesting comes up. These aren't standards. These are suggestions, and you don't need more suggestions. You need non-negotiable protocols. A protocol is a rule that doesn't bend. Not because you're rigid, but because you've decided that certain things are non-negotiable for the person you're becoming. Here's mine. I write every single day, no exceptions, not when I feel like it, not when inspiration strikes, every day. Some days I write brilliantly. Most days I write garbage. But I write because I'm not trying to write perfectly. I'm trying to be someone who writes. Your protocol doesn't have to be extreme. It just has to be consistent. Maybe it's, I move my body for 20 minutes every day. I read for 15 minutes before bed. I work on my project for 1 hour before I check messages. I don't eat after 8 p.m. Pick one, make it simple, make it clear, and then treat it like physics, not preference. The compound effect. Why you don't see results, yet here's the brutal truth about improvement. It's invisible for a very long time. You work out for a week, nothing changes. You eat well for 10 days, nothing changes. You study consistently for a month, nothing changes. And this is where most people quit. They've been lied to by transformation stories that skip the middle part. They expect linear progress. They expect to see results proportional to their effort. But improvement doesn't work linearly. It works exponentially. Imagine an ice cube sitting on a table in a room that's slowly warming. The temperature goes from 25 degrees to 26 degrees, nothing happens. From 26 to 27, still frozen. From 27 to 28, 28 to 29, 29 to 30, 30 to 31, still a solid block of ice. Then it hits 32 degrees, and suddenly it melts. Someone walking into the room at that moment would think the change happened instantly. But you know the truth. The change was happening the entire time. It was just invisible until it crossed the threshold. This is your life right now. You're at 31 degrees. You're 1 degree away from breakthrough, but you can't see it yet, so you think nothing's working. Most people quit at 31 degrees. They were so close. They did the work. They just didn't do it long enough to see the result. Don't be most people. The resistance, why your mind will sabotage you, your brain, is not designed to help you achieve your goals. Your brain is designed to keep you alive and conserve energy. Every time you try to change, your brain interprets it as a threat. Change requires energy, change is uncertain, change is dangerous, so your brain fights you. It will give you very convincing reasons to quit. You're too tired today. You'll start fresh tomorrow. This isn't working anyway. You're not seeing results. You deserve a break. You've been working so hard. Other people don't have to try this hard. Maybe you're just not built for this. These thoughts feel like truth. They feel like insight. They feel like your authentic self telling you what's real. They're not. They're resistance. Resistance is the voice that sounds like reason, but serves comfort. And it shows up strongest right before you're about to break through. The answer isn't to fight it. Fighting resistance makes it stronger. The answer is to notice it, acknowledge it, and act anyway. I see you, resistance. I know what you're doing, and I'm doing this anyway. The practice what to do starting today. Stop waiting. Stop planning, stop preparing, start now, start small. Start imperfectly. Here's your protocol. 1. Choose one identity, not 10. 1. Who do you want to become? A disciplined person, a healthy person, a focused person, a creator. Choose one. 2. Choose one tiny action that proves that identity. Something so small you can't fail. Something you can do in 2 minutes or less. Something that, if you did it every day for a year, would fundamentally change who you are. 3. Do it every day, no exceptions, no negotiations, not when you feel like it, not when it's convenient. Every single day, track it, mark an X on a calendar, create evidence of your consistency. 4. After 30 days, add one more. Not 10 more, one more tiny action. Stack them, build slowly, create compound momentum. 5. Protect the protocol more than you chase the outcome. The outcome will take care of itself if you take care of the system. Your job isn't to get results. Your job is to become someone who does what they say they'll do. The choice that changes everything. You are not reading this by accident. Something in you knows you're capable of more. Something in you is exhausted by your own excuses. The gap between who you are and who you could be isn't talent. It's not opportunity. It's not luck. It's the compounding effect of tiny decisions made consistently over time. You already know this. Deep down, you've always known this. The question isn't whether it works. The question is whether you'll actually do it. Not perfectly, not dramatically, not with some massive overhaul of your entire life. Just 1% better. Today, and then again tomorrow. Most people won't. Most people will read this, feel something, and then go back to exactly who they were yesterday. But you're not most people. If you were, you wouldn't still be reading. So here's what happens next. You close this. You pick one thing, one tiny, almost embarrassingly small promise, and you keep it. Not because it's going to transform you overnight, but because you're becoming someone who keeps promises to themselves. Do that for 100 days, and you won't recognize yourself. The version of you that exists 1 year from now is being built right now, in this moment, with this choice.